Yeah. I thought that was going crazy.
Yeah.
All right. Are we live? I pressed the live button
Yep.
without even knowing. Yeah, we're live. We're live. Yes,
Yep.
right. It's me, Butch Cassidy here, and I got the Sundance Kid with me here. Both outlaws in this day and age on YouTube. What's up, my brother? How you doing, freak?
I'm doing absolutely, well, not absolutely, but for the most part, good, Omar. How are you?
I'm great. I'm great. I have problems and stuff like that. I got an issue, but thank God I'm alive. It could be worse, like they say, like the old people.
Yep.
It could be worse.
Absolutely.
Huh? How was life treating you, man?
It's treating me decent. Things could be a lot worse. So, I'm looking up. But I hope, more good days come my way. And so does everybody. But yeah.
Let's hope. All right. So what's going on? Where you want to start, cuz?
All right. So I want to recap the whole Trump indictment scheme.
Yeah.
And let me see the articles. So on the roster is the Trump indictment and the protests that came with that, which wasn't much, but the drone, the bank collapse, free lunches bill, and then we'll get into more right-wing lolcow content. More, just classic making fun of conservatives. Haha, look at this guy, he's stupid.
They keep on giving us stuff to work with, these fucking idiots.
Especially
Meatball Michael Knowles, man. Fascist this week.
I mean, they'll never not give us anything to debunk. Conservative crap is always going to be just, coming out like machine guns,
Yeah.
Because, I mean, it's at the end of the day, it's their grift. And,
That's right. I love that sound of money, man. I wish I could do it with grip. I can, man. I don't know where to go, man. I tried it. As soon as I show up, they're like, "Now that's a grift, oh my, get the hell out of here." So Donald Trump tweeted in his fake social media, Twitter, said, "Oh, I'm going to get arrested Tuesday. Come out and protest." And he sent those letters, to raise funds to make money off the grift. So, why do you think the government is afraid of him or something? Or they scared to indict him? Why is it taking so long to get this guy in jail or get him indicted with so many investigation after investigation going on, man?
I think it's a matter of them thinking that the public may doubt them as an institution. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they really don't want the status quo pushed too hard. And they think people are going to think that it's really a political indictment. And I mean, it's at the same time not. Just they're getting him for some sort of a scam that under New York law was more than likely illegal. So, this will all explain it. Obviously, NBC has, a liberal bias, but this is just purely descriptive. So, how Trump can be indicted, what to know about the hush money case, and there they are. The indictment of a former president would be a remarkable moment in the country's history in a case with legal underpinning that appears far from open and shut. Let's just read the first couple paragraphs.
Yeah, go ahead.
A former president has never been prosecuted in the history of the United States. As early as this week, that may change. Donald Trump, who faces possible criminal charges in New York relating to a hush money payment to adult film star Stormy Daniels, maintains he has committed no crime, and his attorneys argue he was the victim of extortion. I don't know how that legal theory would go down. Manhattan DA's office, run by Democrat Alvin Bragg. Okay, I should remind people, literally every city DA's office is controlled by a Democrat, because it's a city, okay?
Yeah.
So, Alvin Bragg isn't commenting, and no charges have been announced. But if, in fact, Trump is indicted, it would be a remarkable moment in the country's history in a case with a legal underpinning that appears far from open and shut. What is the possible crime? What was that?
Do you think that the government is afraid of any violence or anything? I don't think so. Nobody gives a fuck anymore after the what can they do worse than they did on the what is it called?
January 6th.
Yeah, January 6th. I mean, it turns out it's a bunch of fucking idiots in makeup.
Yeah.
Running around, nothing to show.
American flags painted on their face.
They're all in fucking jail, and the guy's home sleeping the best bed there is with a model, while these idiots are doing jail time and masturbating in their bunk beds. You understand what I'm saying?
The family values people are screwing around with hoes and paying them hush money for it. These people are oppressed, Omar. I mean, come on.
Thank you for saying that. You know what it is? They are defending him. They're not seeing why he's being indicted because he had sex with a porno star while he's married, and his wife just had a baby. They're not looking at that part. They're like, oh, they want to get our man. Aren't you shameful to defend such a fucking animal like that? He doesn't represent you. I mean, we don't care. I mean, what he does, but the religious class, the elites, that we are the people of God, that we are holy, we're cleansed, do not mind certain things that benefits them. They'll have no issue with him of having a sexual relationship with a porno star, mind you. If I did it, I would never go with a porno star. Not because he's a porno star. You see how those guys last like 2-3 hours? Oh, I can't last. I can't do nothing with that. You understand? I would embarrass myself. So the whole idea is that I'm sorry, I'm talking a lot. But they do like an easy. They're getting people ready. In Atlanta, any day now we're gonna get an indictment. Jack Smith, who has such a fucking funny name. Oh, any day now. Arrest the guy. The guy's a criminal. He's a walking crime scene. Everything he touched, there's nothing that is normal. Everything is under investigation. Everything. You understand?
Yeah.
So well, he tweets, oh, get ready, protest. Like another word, we need some violence out there. They're gonna get their head cracked by the police in New York if they try shit in Manhattan. You understand?
Yeah. New York isn't going to take kindly to a bunch of, MAGA people crowding the sidewalks and the streets with all the nonsense. Like, it ain't going to work. And I mean, these people are such freaks. And no matter, like, what immoral things he does, I think he was right when he said, I could, go on Fifth Street or some crap like that and shoot someone and not lose any voters, because it is a cult at the end of the day. I mean, he can do no wrong in their eyes. And in a really fringe MAGA wing, especially the QAnon types, they literally do believe he is the Messiah. So for them, it's not that he paid hush money to quiet up a scandal to get the interlopers to shut up. No, it's that the deep state is pursuing a chicken shit. The deep state.
Hold on. Pursuing a chicken. Okay, go ahead.
The deep state is pursuing some chicken shit charge against him, and they want to politically reprimand him and throw him in jail so that the deep state can succeed. But Occam's razor is always ignored with these people. He is a criminal, but in their eyes, he can do no wrong. Well, we got to continue, and then we'll just talk about that. Factually, the case is straightforward. Trump's former lawyer and fixer Michael Cohen paid Daniels $130,000. Yeah, Jesus, that's more than she can get in any porn. I think.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Like, I mean, I don't know like specifics of the business, but I guess for one shoot, maybe you can get 10,000. That's what I'm guessing. But
$2,500.
Jesus Christ, like, oh my God! For a moment, she was the most expensive hooker in history. Okay.
Not only that, everything she did, everyone who came close has died. Michael Cohen went to jail. Her lawyer, Michael Levanti, went to jail. Now down to everyone who came near that vagina is going to go to jail or is going to get destroyed. It's like a volcano.
That is a dangerous cunt.
The most dangerous thing is what's her name?
Stormy Daniels. This is the storm QAnon was talking about. A storm's coming. How it was sort of like rapture, and that everything's gonna fall apart in the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. This is their apocalypse because they're going like DEFCON 5 or something. We got to continue.
Only the idiots. I don't even think he has a lot of followers this time. Because Meatball DeSanto yesterday, he's slack. He said, we should not be any others leftist YouTube will like to work with. Yeah, of course.
There are an endless number of leftist YouTubers I'd like to work with.
Yeah, like for example, what were you saying? He threw me offline when you started. what would say? Oh, the Ron DeSantis, you know, the way the statement said, well, I mean, I don't know what is this thing about a porno star and a payment. You know, he said it like 2 times to make Trump look bad at the same time, and then go, oh, the guy's a renegade. The attorney, the attorney is the district attorney is a renegade. It is all politics. No, it's not. You have one of the most corrupt president in U.S. history. He lies to his family. He lies to his wife. He lies to his follower. He lies to the country. And they know he's a liar, and they still follow him. And they know he has fucking 5 brain cells in his head that he uses, and they still think he's a genius. And they're like, oh, look at Stevie Joe. Okay, why don't you look at what he says? He said, what he's talking about the farmers. I had this video with the farmers. Well, if they live and they die and they die and they die, it was fucking making no sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't think he's going to go to jail. I think the whole idea, they want to, I said this a long time ago, they want to tag him with a what is that? With a felony, either there or in Atlanta. Once they tag him with a felony, he cannot be in public life. And I'm willing to bet you the majority of the Republican political class, they want that to happen, but they're scared of him. They want him to go away.
Absolutely.
Some of them were talking like a month ago that they are going to wait for natural causes to take him away. That's how fucking coward they are. A bunch of pussies, man. All these.
He is old.
Guns here. I got AR-50. Yeah, baby. You got a guy from New York. You got a guy from New York who rents an apartment, got you by the neck and making you do things that he wants, man. It's just disgusting, man. I think the case in New York is weak, but it's good. It's going to embarrass him. I don't think he's embarrassed after now. They don't get embarrassed. Not them. The Republican Party has no values. The Republican Party is more of a fucking. It's not a parliamentary no more party. It's more of a what do you call the arm, the political arm of white nationalism. You know how they have when they have organization, you have the guerrilla, the military organ of that organization, and you have the what do you call it, the political arm of that part of that organization. And that's what it's coming. It's a shame what they've been through. And they are like, I'm doing a lot of talking. I'm not giving a chance to talk, but let me just finish with this. Yeah. The Republicans need to do what alcoholics and drug addicts do. They need to hit bottom. You know what they say? Oh, he's not going to get until he hits bottom. Once he hits bottom, hopefully, then they're going to wake up and say, well, what the hell we've been doing for the last 20 years?
Yeah, they really need some course correction. They haven't won a popular vote since 2004 in a presidential election. I mean, they're losing people. Trump, we got to continue. Trump, while he was in the White House, reimbursed Cohen, but has consistently denied the affair. But the payment of the hush money by itself would be a crime. And this is the real point where the prosecution is getting at. In this case, the possible crime is how the payments were documented on the books of the Trump organization. So basically, he was using campaign funds to pay her hush money. I don't think using hush money, like in and of itself, is that illegal in most circumstances. It's where the money is coming from, and where the money is coming from is from like a campaign sort of thing.
It's how the money was written down, the expense, the way it was written down.
Yeah, you can't screw with the books when it comes to payments like these. According to Mark Pomerantz, a former prosecutor who worked closely on the case and recently published a book about his experience, Cohen submitted phony invoices throughout 2017 referencing a retainer agreement and a requested payment. Then Cohen received a series of checks hand-signed by Trump while he was in the White House. The legal problem is there was no retainer agreement, according to Pomerantz. It was, God damn it, Jesus Christ, it was, all right, it was, it was all done to cover up the hush money scheme, the fake documentation of illegal expenses, because he was trying to pass this hush money off as legal fees on the Trump organization's books could trigger a charge under New York state law, which makes falsifying business records a crime. Normally, the false business records charge could be a misdemeanor. In order to elevate it to a felony, the defendant needs to have created the fake records with an intent to commit or conceal another crime. Here, it's unclear what the Manhattan District Attorney's Office plans to argue is the second crime. Some legal commentators have suggested that perhaps the DA is only prosecuting the misdemeanor charge. Yeah, you were right. He's probably going to get off on some, chicken shit jail sort of, Others have argued that would be a waste of time and resources and give Trump the power to paint the case as weak. If the grand jury doesn't vote in favor of prosecuting this case as a felony, it could direct the prosecutor to file a misdemeanor case instead. Now, here's where our questions really get answered. Does the prosecution have, an absolutely certified 100% winnable case? No. The prior district attorney's office, run by Bragg's predecessor, Democrat Cy Vance, previously investigated the false business records charge, limitations at length. Excuse me. According to sources familiar with the investigation, Vance even commissioned outside lawyers to look into the legal issues involved, but ultimately opted not to move forward with the prosecution. It was viewed as a gamble at the time, and it is still by many legal experts. We're just going to have one more paragraph, and then we're going to wrap this up. If the grand jury indicts, then the key will be, what's the prosecution's theory about the second crime mentioned above? Is it a state crime? Some have pointed to a possible conspiracy charge that under New York law, with the idea of being that Trump conspired with others to make sure the affair didn't come to light before the 2016 election. Others have suggested that a federal campaign finance violation could be in play. That's what Michael Cohen pled guilty to back in 2018, along with other charges stemming from a probe of Cohen led by the Office of the U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of New York, working with the FBI. So the prosecution here isn't exactly sure what not misdemeanor, the one felony charge they're going to go after. Yeah, they know he misappropriated these legal fees. But what they really need to hammer this home, and what they really need to throw him in jail, is some sort of bigger crime. And they don't exactly have, a completely shut case of that yet. So
New York jury will indict him, even if he went to trial. Everybody hates him in New York City, but if he went upstate New York, he'll be able. If they moved if he had a trial and they moved to, like, when they moved to a different area because of prejudice to the case, he will win in upstate New York because they're more conservative or right leaning. But in New York City, he'll fucking get smacked. They hate him, even his borough. I hate him, and he's a New Yorker. You understand? You guys take all the garbage and Florida.
I don't know how many blocks you are away from Trump Tower, but New York's a haven of progressivism in America. Gay flags everywhere, and of course that's like with every city. You got the pride flags, you've got the marches, you've got the NGOs, and the Democrats and the left wing organizations. But MAGA people aren't gonna do well there.
Have you ever been in New York City, in Manhattan?
No, I want to go places, but
when you go there, you could tell it's all terrorists, like from different part of the United States. You could tell they're all walking hands in hand, taking pictures of the building. Because I'm like, look at these idiots. It's a fucking building. What are they taking pictures of? Because I'm in New York. I grew up all my life there. But there are a lot of people walking, and it's so fucking surreal. One time I told my wife, I think these people are paid actors to walk around. They look like, from those movies. Everybody's walking, they look the same, they dress the same, and they're all holding hands. They're all family from Ohio, from Iowa, from the Midwest. They come to see New York City. New York City is the cutting edge of all the cities. It's an open city.
It's impressive. Even on video, that's all I've seen. It's impressive. You got these huge freaking buildings.
I love it. I love the cursing and the yelling and screaming. What are you looking at once in a while on the train? I'm not looking at you, man. I was just, thinking. All right, don't think. Don't look at me. All right, good. So, the last thing, do you think they will get him? Do you think he'll be indicted? And what's going to happen? Just to close the
with this case specifically, no, they're probably gonna just get him on a misdemeanor, maybe give him a fine, not even just house arrest, but just something really petty. There are other cases where he could be prosecuted, but the DOJ is just dragging it out. But by the time they actually indict him, he's probably gonna be dead for all we know, because he's old now. So
the other case in Georgia, it's a Republican governor. He could just pardon him after the in Georgia anyway. So what's going on? Anyway, let's hope he gets indicted and gets a felony, and let him go away. Get away from us, man. Let us have our country back.
Disappear.
Yeah, we
out
want
of the public eye.
Republican, Democrat. We just want to be Americans, and we debate without hate. This guy is a hateful individual. Garbage.
Yep. You are a mistake we do not want to remember, sir.
No, we send all our garbage. We send it to Florida. We send our old to die there. All New Yorkers die in Florida. All the old people, we send them there to die. Now we send this guy to die, but he's not.
Yeah, we know they're dying because they're not voting. I mean, if we got a ton of blue voters,
I've been in Florida, all Cubans. I've been in what do you call Miami Beach? Is it called Miami Beach? Where the ocean is in those buildings, they're like apartment buildings. I walked on that sand once.
Yeah, I mean, what's weird is that Miami and counties adjacent to it, vote blue. Yeah, but
this year they didn't.
But yeah, they typically vote blue, but it's nowhere near enough that change the state. Shit, and I was thinking to myself, maybe since a lot of these people are refugees, they're probably going to vote Republican because they like, that whole Batista anti-communist shit.
These are socialists. You just came. Most of those are, who they're not regular refugees. Most of them are people who had money who ran away from the state, like Venezuela. You understand? These people had money or the elites, or a little higher than the poor class. They got the opportunity to come to Miami and live there and become whatever it is. Because the state did not pamper them no more under Chavez and under when they were distributing the wealth those years before he died. I used to like that guy. May he rest in peace, and the other people. So they don't have no excuse, especially the Cubans. I don't know who told them that they're fucking white and they're Republicans. These are the Batista, the Batista assholes. Yeah, the grandkids.
The mob types.
Yeah, these are the people. Yeah, these are the people who their parents ran away from Cuba, but not because Cuba was bad, but because they were aligned.
All up in with the mafia, and
you understand? So they're crying because if you look at Cuba without the embargo, they have the best health system. The people live longer in Cuba than the United States. I was looking at
that's with the embargo. From the biggest power in the world.
We have fucking plumbers in the United States. They have as if 99.9 their education level. If you compare it to any country in South America, nothing comes close to it. And we have this fucking unjust embargo on it. Oh, we're afraid of communism. Yeah, why spend hundreds of trillions of dollars in China? Who is more dangerous to the United States, China? Or some fucking island that is like 363 square feet, whatever the fuck it is. Let's go, man. I get upset when I hear about that.
Yeah. And this in and of itself is going to be a short segment, but the MAGA folks, the real diehard MAGA folks, tried to protest, and it didn't work out well. We're just going to skim a few sentences off this article because it's not much in the grand scheme of things. Trump waits out grand jury as New York braces for protest. Facing the possibility of criminal charges, Donald Trump waited out in Florida on Tuesday as New York braced for disruptions that could follow an indictment. Republican contenders in the 2024 race sized up the impact a prosecution could have on a campaign in which the former president is a contending leader and, a president hopeful. I mean, he's running for president. And he could still do it from jail. If he's probably not going to be in jail. He could still run from jail or prison.
The Democrat will probably give the Republican a favor. Maybe if he runs in the general election, he'll lose. Maybe we do him a favor without really knowing it. You understand?
Yeah. Trump over the weekend claimed without evidence that he would be arrested on Tuesday, but there was no indication that prediction would come true.
He sent the emails to raise funds on that lie. It was all a money thing. It's everything he does is how to fucking get money out of his followers. I think they fucking broke as fuck after now. How long can you fool somebody with lies? We need your money. We need your money. Stop giving him your money for what? Isn't he a billionaire? Why you sending him? He can't defend himself. You understand? So it was all a bill. It was a funding stunt he did. Good man. This is garbage, man. I swear to God, it's garbage.
Yeah. The next steps were unclear, and it was uncertain if additional witnesses might be summoned. But a city mindful of the riot by Trump loyalists at the U.S. Capitol more than 2 years ago took steps to protect itself from any violence that could accompany the unprecedented prosecution of a former president. And they showed up. Packing covered this. They showed up. It wasn't much so far. but
You know, who showed up.
it wasn't much.
You know the Chinese cult. You ever heard of the Push Times? It's a newspaper, a Chinese newspaper. There's a cult in China that they killed themselves and they're outlawed by the China government.
The Falun Gong practitioners.
Yeah, they showed up. That's the one who showed up in front of the Trump Tower. The Proud, whatever, the other ones, they showed up in front of the DA's office, wherever they are. But those were all Chinese dissidents who believe in a cult. You just said it, the Fang Wang or fucking Wing, whatever the fucking name it is. He has nobody this time. Nobody's going to come out and put themselves out there for him, and he's not going to do nothing for them. If anybody's smart, anybody who's listening to me, and you are a Trump follower, don't fall for it. Stay home. Keep your job. This is old politics. It's old bullshit. He's going to come. He's going to go. He's going to, like every other politician, we're going to have another guy after that, another guy, and life keeps on going. Don't fuck your life up. Good.
All right.
I
just want to
the mega boys, right?
Yeah. We got a ton more really big segments to go over, but I just want to play a few minutes of this. Yeah.
What is that?
This is really funny. It's, a Proud Boy, just, getting karmic justice.
The story, what is it called? They got beat up, what is it called?
Yeah, the Proud Boys. And
they got... in New York City. This is New York, right?
Yeah.
Proud Boys booted from New York drag event. Oh, yeah, I saw that. They crashed. It's not going to happen in New York. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Proud Boys were ran out
of
a drag queen story hour that was
restores my faith in humanity.
Attorney General šti𝖺jupi's in New York. And they thought they were going to show up and cause problems, but they ended up leaving with their tail tucked between their legs. They were treated accordingly by counter-protesters and were chased away. Now, before we get to the Proud Boys, a few important notes about the event itself. This all went down at the Center, which is an LGBTQ community center. The event was hosted by Drag Queen Story Hour, which happens to be an entire nonprofit organization. The event was packed with protesters who were both for and against the Story Hour. We've got more video. Let's watch.
Make it full. Make the screen full.
Yeah. This guy was the main subject of a Walter Masterson video. I don't know what his whole shtick is. He's like this gay guy who is against Drag Queen Story Hour for whatever reason. I don't know. He's just a bootlicker.
Now you can notice from the video that
you want to say something?
Since you mentioned that, I swear to God, I was going to do a segment. Why do gay men or gay media individual attach themselves to right-wing movements? For example, Peter Thiel, one of the billionaire. He's married to another man, and he goes with the politicians who believe the old family values. You beat up the wife and keep her home. Dave Rubin, same shit. He attached himself to the Blades. That guy, the Vietnam guy who was chasing the Antifa guy, what is it, Wang Yang, whatever his name, he's always around in Colorado, whatever he is. What I'm saying, there's this attraction to power. I don't understand it. Why would you hang, like this old man, why would you hang around people who hate you? You understand? Even if they don't they hate you. They don't agree with your lifestyle. Don't lie to yourself. I don't understand that. I cannot get it in my head. A lot of them are like that. You understand?
Yeah, this is what Vosh said. When he was critiquing Blair White, he said, "Grifters like these who tokenize their own identities want to be last in line to the death camps." Yeah.
Go ahead.
The Proud Boy side of the protests were much smaller than the pro-Drag Queen Story Hour side of the protest. Now, Letitia James said in a statement yesterday that the recent rise in anti-LGBTQ plus protests, rhetoric, and policies has left New Yorkers, myself included, devastated and disappointed. But I know better than anyone that when the choice is between love and hate, between joy and venom, New Yorkers will always choose love, and New Yorkers will always choose joy. We have more video in just a moment, so stick around for that. But Cenk, how good is it to hear Proud Boys cry about how they were?
Yeah, I hear you on that, and obviously it's good that they got run out of town there, right? With this nonsense talk. But in a crazy role reversal here, I'm going to take the position you took earlier in the show. That guy, I watched the whole video, and the guy who had the cut on his face, he kept saying, "We just came to help people. We just came to help."
Come on, Cenk.
No. Hold on. I think that some of these right-wing nut jobs got convinced by right-wing media that they're actually doing like weird things to kids in those things. Because they say it all the time, right-wing media is
like, okay, what are they doing? Like, what are they actually doing to children? Because
go ahead. I'm gonna let you talk, Free. I want you to include it in your conversation. I want to know what is drag queen hour? I never heard of it. Well, what happens there? Okay, go ahead.
So basically, what happens is just a drag queen, you know, it's typically always a guy, just gets in makeup, gets in costume, you know, wig, makeup, and all, and then just reads a kid's story to some kids.
Okay. What's the objective of that? What? Like, I mean, let's be honest with the conversation.
That's it.
So that's okay. Isn't that a parent's decision? Why are these people against it? If I'm the parents, I wanted to take my kids there. That's my problem. It's not like they're getting kids off the street, you know, tricking them with candy. Come here, you want to see a drag queen? These people are stupid. This is a parental issue. If the parents decide to take their kids to see this show, whatever it is, that is their decision. That means, like for example, when I was a kid, I used to love rated R movies. I used to have to convince my brother, who's older than me, to get me in there, because I couldn't get in there because I could only go to PG-13. And some of the good movies were the R, you know, the action, the killing, the shooting. So that means my brother made that decision that we're gonna go to a movie theater. I might see some breasts or sexual scene by accident, whatever it is, to let me see that movie. That was what a guardianship decision. Family person made that decision. I never heard of drag hour until now, and all this with the fucking crazies on the right, they're making it a big deal. But the more I look at it, I don't know what it is. I've never been in it. I don't think it's harmful. But for them to yell, we're protecting the kids, they're grooming the kids. Okay, who's bringing the kids? Free. Who's bringing the kids? Go ahead.
Yeah, it's really ironic that the whole school choice, you know, parents should make decisions for their children's side is suddenly against parents making decisions for their children when that parent's politics are reflected in their decision.
Who has more interest for the child? The parents or these fucking assholes on the right? The parents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I really want to know, because I'm going to get a conservative on one of these shows, the Third Rail or the Free Show. I gotta, you know, start up my own broadcast of the Free Show. I just had a
big thing on Twitter with Andrew Wilson, that fucking piece of shit.
Well, live. We gotta get, you know, at least one conservative on here live and explain to us what grooming is, because every time it's been explained to people. Okay.
Yeah.
Grooming is just. And don't believe it when they say, you know, political indoctrination. Okay, well, would you consider it indoctrination when I say the Holocaust is bad and it shouldn't have happened? Technically, that's political. Yeah. And that's, you know, pushing a political narrative onto my child, but it's the right political narrative. Okay? So, if you believe that grooming is just letting children know that gay people exist and it's okay to be gay and we're accepting and it's good to be accepting, I want to know, like, that just blows my mind. How far are you off the Overton window to the point where you're willing to say stuff like that? We gotta get through this.
Let me just put a couple words before we go. Is it okay?
Yeah.
Okay. The whole issue is the core idea of this what's it called? Drag queen hour, whatever it's called.
Mm-hmm.
It's a parent's decision at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Who are you, Michael Knowles or Ben Shapiro, anybody else to say that it's wrong? If the parents say it's right, the law has nothing against it. Fuck off and get out the way. You understand? That's it.
I mean, Christ, our country this is where our country's headed.
That's right.
It's where our country's headed because of these right-wing morons.
Idiots.
The worst things on the planet. And so they just lie all the time to create
One
fear
more
and
minute
anger
of this,
in their voting base. Yeah. So two Proud Boys guys probably thought like, oh my God, they're probably gonna grab kids on the street and we're gonna go help them, etc.
Right.
That's not what's happening. It's parents that are accepting of queer people, taking their children to story hours in which drag queens just read kid stories to them. And then that's it. You know, they have a good time.
I could walk in New York City and two guys are kissing. I don't even look. That's how normal that shit is to New York City. I don't think we do that shit in Ohio, in the middle of Akron, Ohio, whatever. You know, it's so normal that we don't give a fuck. You know, we are at that point in our lives that The federal government has accepted gay marriages, that people are real, these people exist, they are people of wealth and influence, and they have lives to live. Whatever they do behind their fucking door, it doesn't concern anybody. That's the American way. Whatever you do behind your door, it doesn't concern anybody.
But the party of small government wants to go light years up your ass and have, a sexual Gestapo.
You saw. I have a video later, if I could show it. Michael Knowles. He's saying, "Oh, they got one of our guys. Let's go get 5 of their guys." I'll put a tweet like the Mafia, the movie. If they stop one of our, they send one of our boys to the hospital. We send one to the morgue. I put it in his Twitter feed. He's a fucking idiot. They don't believe in small government. It's all BS. It's all a con. They don't even believe in God. They have nothing to do with it, man. The majority of these people, we always catch them having sex with prostitutes or hidden gay, have a gay life, and they want to live that. Mike, what's his name? Schultz, what's his name of the what do you call it? The CCAP, whatever, the biggest conservative movement, was grabbing when he was drunk, and he said, "I hope you find in your heart to forgive me." The man wants to live. He wants to get a guy, and he wants to get cocked, whatever it is. Let him enjoy his life. Don't live your lives, man.
But he can't repress it and actively, speak against it when he's doing that exact thing. The whole conservative mantra of say one thing, do the exact opposite.
If I was gay, I would hit what's his name, Lindsey Graham. I do it. I take one for the team. I'll hit him so hard from the back, so just to make him relax.
Just to give it to him.
I'm a liberal, just to make him relax. Stop. Calm down, man. I know you're living now. How you gonna vote? I'm gonna vote whatever you want. Okay, thank you. Okay, now relax. I think he's a man. He was good looking when he was young, but he always Lindsey, how come you didn't get married? Well, my mother and father died, and I had to raise my sister Wendy, whatever her name is, and her children. Okay, but you could have a girl on the side. It doesn't deprive you from pussy. You understand? Anyway, these people do. They are, most anybody I found out in my life who talks a lot about homosexual, oh God, or this and that, usually is a closeted individual. Ari Schaefer, who's Ari Schaefer? What's his name? Elijah Schaefer, right?
Mm-hmm.
That guy he used to be on The Blaze. I've been teasing him for a whole year. It's okay, live your life, and it turns out to be I'm right. I know. I could tell his the way he moves, the way he's gay as fucking hell.
Yeah.
And he's always attacking all those gays, and it's so fucking cringy when he put that Australian girl and they attack that gay man. He's attacking himself. I'm like, what the fuck is this? All right, let's go, man. We took too long on the thing that you wanted to do. So anyway, Proud Boys, leave these people alone. Go home, do something better. Go to school, get an education, and live your life. We got to give them advice every time we do a segment on them, because they scare me. I don't talk to them back on Twitter because I don't want to get I don't get involved with these people. They got ugly names. They got a frog. What the fuck is that?
Yeah. Guys, quit being losers, okay? Quit being losers. Look, so, oh my God. We got to speed run some of these segments. I think I should just play a video. And then we'll commentate because
and we ask questions with each other and go back and forth. We agree.
Because reading an article would just be too much. So let's.
When you read it, anybody could read an article. They all have Google. You understand? You could skim through it and we could discuss it. You know what I'm trying to say here?
New overnight, the Russian Defense Ministry is claiming their fighter jets did not use weapons or collide with the unmanned U.S. drone that went down in the Black Sea.
I never got your position.
Meantime, U.S. European.
Look, I think it would be optimal for U.S. I hate saying U.S. national security interests because it implies not some sort of. I think it's generally a good thing to arm Ukraine. Because it's the fight for democracy. Russia is this settler colonial state and has been introducing these breakaway regions in the LPR and DPR. We saw this with Georgia, with South Ossetia and Abkhazia in 2008. And what was different about that is it took 5 days. This war is probably going to rage on for years. So look, I can't help but see Russia as this, sort of weird imperialist petroleum dictatorship who just want land for whatever reason. And I think side with democracy. That's my opinion.
I'm gonna surprise you. We're not fighting for democracy. This is all bullshit. This is the 20th anniversary of the Iraqi war, and you thought that I won. we're fighting for our own survival, because not our survival, because we knew that Putin, what is his name? Vladimir Putin, the president of Russia, is using the same playbook that they used in the 1930s in Germany. Every state that has a Russian minority, he has to invade it to protect the minority. And he was going to head toward the Baltic states, like Latvia, all those small states. Have the population is Russian there. What they realize is the American government or the intelligence of our military, we're gonna have to fight them later. Then let's fight them in Ukraine. Let the Ukrainian people die. We give them the weapons, and it's okay to give them the best weapons, because they're not going to turn against us like what the Mujahideen did in Afghanistan. Yeah. So we could give them the best weapon. It doesn't matter. And they're going to bleed Russia to death over there. For 10 years, it doesn't matter. The problem is, how long can they last, the Ukrainian? Because they're taking a lot of losses. I read an article, I don't know, what was it, in the New York Times, whatever, that a lot of the best trained, they're dead. The Ukrainian army. And go ahead, what's the segment? This is on the drones, right?
Yeah, this is on the drone that was apparently shot down by a Russian jet. I don't know. I don't know why one of our drones would be there. Maybe it was a drone given to the Ukrainians by us, but I don't know. It'll clear it up.
I'm going to tell you why, because we consider Crimea part of Ukraine. So we consider international space over there. You understand?
Yeah.
Because Russia view that area as theirs, because Crimea, they annexed it. But us, as the United States, we view Crimea as a territory that is occupied by the Russians. So we have every right to be there because it's international water, whatever it is. But I'm going to give you a little history. Crimea is Russian. Crimea was part of the Russian state. During, I think it was Stalin, or I think it was Lenin, when they did redistriction, because there's no land to connect to Russia, they put it back toward what do you call it? In the 1950s, they inserted it with Ukraine as part of the new redistriction of the land, whatever it was. It's Russian, and Russia and Ukraine, they have a special relationship. Kyiv used to be the capital of Russia for I don't know, for 100 years. You understand? So there's a lot of shit, emotional shit going on there and all that stuff. But our drones, it was met by Russian assholes. Go ahead. This is the picture they had.
I think this is like a 3D rendition.
Jets were flying over international waters when one of the jets intentionally flew in front of it and dumped fuel. The aircraft then hit the propeller of the drone, prompting U.S. forces to bring it down. It's the first time Russian U.S. military aircraft had reported.
They bumped into it apparently, and it, fell out of flight or something.
Us, the United States, we have a lot of patience. We have a lot of patience. We let people fuck around, because we know we could take care of business if we have to. You understand? So you know how many times the Chinese come close and they start playing this little pussy game with their Air Force or with their Navy around our ships. You have to have self-control, because we know if we start popping shit, the whole thing's going to blow over. Because all these little proxy wars, they're proxy wars. We've never been in a real war. The only real war and we lost was, I think, was the Vietnam War. And it was planned, and we didn't belong there in the first place. You understand? There was nothing to fight for there. Like World War II, it was about survival. You had to win. We haven't won a war since World War II. We got even in Korea. We broke even. In Vietnam, we lost. In Iraq, we declared. This is the 20th anniversary of the Iraqi war. It's shameful that we, as a country, lied about weapons of mass destruction to attack another country and destroy its army, its political class, and bring it to a no man's land. 300,000 Iraqi dies and 8,000 American soldiers dies. And you know what? Every year, 6,000 American veterans kill themselves. The war is still going on. Since 2001.
We're still there.
Yeah, not only that, I'm talking about at home. Since 2001, 124 servicemen have killed themselves inside the United States. That is a fucking war we have inside the United States. So that means the war is still psychologically killing these kids. If they didn't have to go to war and fight this dumb war that was under a lie to make Dick Cheney, to get Dick Cheney a new heart, he probably got some Arab heart, some kid that killed him and stole his heart from the battlefield. But that's what we think. Instead of doing that to enrich themselves, they send America in a war that we did not belong in, and we lost, and we embarrassingly lost, and we still lost. Destroyed a country that was secular. I've been in Iraq. Iraq was a secular socialist country. They didn't believe religion had no no game inside the government. They're like, yo, everybody keep their shit to themselves. This is a Ba'athist government. It's more of a socialist dictatorship. Listen, free education, free healthcare. If you graduate, they give a down payment on the house, interest free. Everything that we would demand from the progressive movement, they had it in Iraq before we declared war in Iraq. At the same time, our allies, Saudi Arabia, they hanging, they're killing women who have sex.
American journalists, you know, and nobody bats an eye.
Yeah, I was trying to do I wanted to do a whole segment on that because Kevin Cassidy got a small debate, and he's a sissy. Excuse the word. He's a
yeah, he blocked me probably because I was associated with you.
He would not debate. I was interviewing him, and he started repeating the same garbage he repeated in 2003. You know, like the talking point. I said, "What are you talking about?" He goes, "Oh, Saddam Hussein was raping women." I said, "Wait, where did you get that from? Who told you that?" Oh, listen. You're lying. I told him because I know the politics. The worst thing you could do to somebody who talks a lot of game, because he considers himself a foreign policy bullshit, is when you have somebody who knows what he's talking about and is able to answer back and put him down. I dare him to debate me. He's a fucking pussy like the other ones.
Yeah.
Like, get wild here. Get wild.
Yeah. People like him are why the neocons, especially in the Bush era, are
debate me. That's all he said. And when you want to debate him like a real debate, he doesn't want to go to that. He wants to find somebody who doesn't know anything about the international arena or anything what's going on. Because Americans, we're dumb when it comes to international issues. The average American doesn't give a fuck. They want to know if the X1 or the Heat one. Well, you guys got the Heat. Oh, how's Mahomes or the fantasy football league? How they doing? We don't pay attention. That's why Americans' foreign policy, especially in Israel, is hijacked by a certain class that's using it to milk us out of money and keep the Palestinians under occupation. Because we, the normal American, does not pay attention to. I could get you somebody in Yemen who has never been out of Yemen. He knows more about America's politics than an American person does. I swear to God, they know more. We don't know anything. We don't know nothing. We're just like, oh. Did the train raise the fees? That's all we talk about. Go ahead, man.
Yeah. I mean, Jesus Christ. I mean, it's ironic. You know, the neocons will sometimes defend Israel, but they never talk about Saudi Arabia. They're like, so what?
Israel is not a democracy.
What are you talking about? Hey, Mexicans. French people, groomers, Saudi Arabia. What? What? The Bush is colluding with the Saudis? What?
Yeah, bullshit. I'm telling you that you look at right now in Israel is an ethno state right now. According to Israelis, not us. According to Jewish organizations like Beit Salam is one of the biggest and most best human rights. According to Jewish Americans and Jews Israelis, they have this law. It's called the Jewish law that that Israel is a Jewish state. But you have about 25% of the populations are Arabs who are Israeli citizens. I'm not talking about the occupied territory here for you. Understand? That's like, let's say if the Congress of the United States got together and said, well, listen, this is a fucking Christian country. You know how much shit we'll pop? What? What are you talking about? You understand? That's the same shit. That's why I can't understand how the fuck you could be a liberal piece of shit over here, but you could be a hawk like I read a book by with Lamont, a guy named Lamont, Mark Lamont, I think his name. He's a professor and a black. He has a book called Progressive on Everything Except Palestine. He wrote it with a guy, Ben Bart. He's a Jewish American who has a newspaper. I forgot the letter he has. But the whole idea is that right now they have this guy who's like Trump, Netanyahu, who wants to overhaul the Supreme Court, that they can't be the last word in laws, only the legislative branch. You understand? They're having a war like what we have. Let's just say if our legislative branch said, well, listen, we are the second branch, you have no right, you don't have the last word as a Supreme Court. That's what they're doing there. Did you know Israel doesn't have a constitution? Nobody knows that.
That's funny.
You know, they don't have a constitution. The reason why is to deprive the people who live there of real rights. They rather keep it like this.
Especially the Arabs.
Vague. Vague. Is the word vague? They keep it vague. They have these common laws from the British, the British and stuff like that. They cobble them together, and sometimes they rule. They say the Supreme Court ruled. What did you rule on? You don't have no constitution to go back to. You don't have, like the source of your laws are not from your constitution. The source of your laws are these laws that you put together from Britain, from the British colonies, from the common laws, the British common laws, and stuff of that nature. And if you look at, the devastation that happens in the Palestinian territories every day, 2-3 Palestinians are killed inside their homes, inside the occupied side of them. They don't want the two-state solution. They don't want the one-state solution. I don't know what the end game is. The end game is going to be genocide. Either they're going to create this violence where they get the Palestinian to ethnically cleanse them to Egypt or something, or to the Gaza Strip. I don't know what the plan is, but I don't think it's pretty, because it doesn't make sense. Inside Israel, you make laws saying that Israel is a Jewish state and the minority are second-class citizen. At the same time, you are building settlements outside Israel with the people that you will not accept inside Israel. But what are you going to do what are you doing? You understand?
That's true. Yeah.
What are you doing? What do you want? You said the Pharaoh had you made you slaves, and I don't know. I don't believe that shit. The ocean.
Because they're full of it, man. They're full of it.
People go. Let them either. I'm gonna sound crazy. I'm for a one-state solution. I think the Palestinians and Israeli could live together if they have a constitution. But the Israelis don't want that because they're gonna become a minority. This is their problem. They're not having enough babies to continue the numbers with the Palestinians. At the same time, it is a burden. They want to be a pure Jewish state. They can't, because they have 20% of the populations of Arabs. And at the same time, they are building settlements inside the Palestinian territories who are legally and using American money. We send $4 billion, almost $4 billion a year. That's almost like $5,000 for every Israeli citizen inside Israel. Why did you give it to us? The whole idea is, okay, you get in this money, you can't buy. We should tell them you can't buy guns with it. You cannot use it in the occupied territory. You could use it but right now that's $4 billion that the military use. Every hat, every gun, every flashlight, every baton is paid by the United States government taxpayers. Every bullet that shoots and kills the Palestinians is paid by people in the United States, by me, by you, by all Americans in the United States. We are the ones who are guilty and abating this crime that's created, this continual crime for 70 years. We need to say stop. You've been negotiating with them since 1989. They've been negotiation peace. The people who started the negotiation already died.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
40 years ago, they already died, and they still Area A. Thank you.
Yeah.
Let's go, man. I get excited when I hear this. I'm really, really excited.
Yeah. It's just shit. The situation over there, God, I wish these lobbies would just stop taking our tax money.
Okay, imagine. I said this before. Ilhan Omar said something about AIPAC. It's all about the Benjamin. It is about the Benjamin. They spent almost $100 million in the last elections in districts inside the heartland of the United States. If you are a foreign lobby group, whatever, what the hell are you doing?
Why do they care about Israel?
Picking winners and losers inside our government. That's against the law. Imagine if the Palestinians were doing the same thing. Well, let's get that one in New York and try to let them lose it. They'll say, oh, look at that. That's outside money. It should not be happening. There's another group called J Street, whatever it is. It's a more liberal Jewish organization. They just took 100 congressmen and women on a vacation to Israel, all paid for by that organization. This is bribery. This is bribery. You are paying for their hotels, for the food they eat, for the aircraft they go in, and you have this boss that takes them to certain areas where it looks nice and pretty, without taking them to the bad part where you have people where you build walls. Free. They took land from the Palestinian in the West Bank, and they're building walls. They have roads only for Jews and roads for Palestinians inside their territory. They control 80% of the water, while 20% of the water goes to the majority of the Palestinians. What's happening in the Palestinian territory is a fucking crime against humanity. And the only thing they get away, I said this before on my son, and it's not anti-Semitic, because they are Jewish. It's a Jewish state. You gotta hold it responsible. We want peace. I believe that Israel should have the right to exist and be secure as a state, but it doesn't have the right to oppress and control other human beings. You have 6 million Palestinians, 2 million in a 2-mile radius area called Gaza. It's called the biggest or the open prison in the world. That's it. And nobody says anything. But here, they're progressive. Like, what's her name? Porter. What's her name? California Congresswoman
Porter.
Porter. I think her name is. She's smart. She always got the numbers and the digits. She went and she met with Netanyahu. She said we had a good conversation. She's a progressive.
Yeah.
I forgot her name. I was gonna donate to her. I did don't. I done like $20, $25 to the like Nina Turner, all this stuff. They have this called it's called something blue. You donate, whatever it's called.
Vote blue.
Sorry, man, I know we went off track, but I want you to free. You're a young kid. You're smart. I want you to educate yourself on the issue that's outside the country. There are people who are being wrong. Like Venezuela. Do you really think we give a fuck about democracy? We're after the oil.
No. Yeah.
Why do we go to democracy to the other states that doesn't have no money? That don't have no. But Venezuela, did they deserve democracy, man? You know why? Because he refused to share the wealth with them. Maduro. They have this like mobster mentality. Like Saudi Arabia gets kickbacks. They give $2 billion to Jared Kushner for no reason. They give kickbacks so to stay stable. They call them economic terrorists. They had a documentary about it and get it on Netflix. They used to call themselves economic terrorists. They go to a country. They say, "Listen, we need $5 billion." They say, "Listen, if you don't do it, we're gonna undermine your economy and this and this and that and destabilize your country." And they pay, especially these Middle Eastern countries, who are artificial countries. They have no real countries.
Yeah.
So the whole idea is that we have to speak truth to power. We have to, as Americans, we have to say the truth in order to be better Americans, to make America better, not to be fools like what they were doing with Saddam Hussein when they were searching the presidential palace for weapons of mass destruction. What, he has a fucking rocket under his bed? I mean, don't you need like a whole base for these weapons to be? Oh, we gotta check the palace for what? Well, he might has weapon of destruction. Really, in the palace? And it was so embarrassing.
Yeah. Great place to keep, a nuke or an ICBM or a chemical shell.
It was so obvious. It's unbelievable. I protested, I was young in 2000. I think it was, hundreds of thousands of Americans young. They had the drums. We go to this demonstration. It's fucking beautiful. You have all these wrestlers with the drums, all this shit. These young people that know what's going on. And we didn't even get 10 seconds on CNN. I came home. We took a bus. We took about 30 buses from New York. We paid $30 each. And we went there and they brought us back. Not even 10 seconds.
The media was behind it at the time. I mean,
Time was the biggest advocate.
What they just do is read the writing on the wall and say, everybody wants war now.
Yeah.
We'll push war. That'll make our ratings great. That'll give us ad revenue,
Thomas Freedom, who's the biggest columnist for what do you call it, for the New York Times, said it's a necessary war. Why? Because he's a pro-Israel. You understand?
Yeah.
Let me show you. Give me the source of this.
Of course, Saddam didn't like Israel, but what the fuck? Why did we have to invade Iraq? I mean, it doesn't make sense.
If you look at the history, we destroyed Iraq. First of all, you have to look at the Iranian-Iraqi war. We told Iraq to go to war for Iran as a revenge against our hostages in Iran. They went to war for 8 years. They lost 500,000 people. Imagine a country of 15 million fighting a country of 70 million Iranians. And after they bled to death, we bring them in, we start that fucking war, we destroyed the army.
Yeah, didn't we give weapons to both of them in that war?
Yeah, it's called the Iran-Contra war. Yeah, we were giving weapons to the Iranians under the table to kill Iraqis who are allies. Yeah, it's all bullshit, man. Let me just show you this asshole here. 1 second, forgive me. That landed for me.
You know what it's all about?
It is about the money, it is, but the problem is a lot of people are dying, man. A lot of people are losing their life. Hey, let me give you this guy, man. I don't know if you can hear it.
No, I can't hear it. No.
Wait. Oh,
okay. Yeah.
Wait,
okay.
No. It's not the right way. The whole idea. This is Thomas Friedman. He's like the head honcho of the New York Times. They always pay attention. This is the guy who said if two countries have a McDonald's, they never go to war. This is the guy who came up with that fucking concept. You ever heard that concept they had?
Yeah.
You ever heard of that? They said, "Oh well, Ukraine has a McDonald's and Russia has a McDonald's. They're not doing too well." Let me see. Okay, hold on. You hear it?
Nope.
Okay, then let me get the hell out of here. Yeah, fuck off. And you know, well, how about the billions of dollars you sent Israel? We never say anything about. Anyway, to make a long story, this is the pro-war liberals of the 2003 and the neocons. They got together. They have an article called "The White Man's Burden." It's a Jewish, it's about how 23 out of 25 Jews planned the war against Iraq. That's the case closed. Go read it, and it's a Jewish newspaper. You can put it up there. If you know, what do you got there?
This is just the next segment on
let's
the bank
get to
collapse.
Yeah. Woke banks, huh?
No. Wokeism, woke socialism made banks collapse. Woke socialism made banks. You got to hand it to the Republicans, okay? So this is just going to explain how, corporate deregulation. Well, it's just going to explain the banking situation in general, but I'll explain to you how corporate deregulation led to it, because the Trump administration repealed certain parts of the Terrorist Act or some sort of congressional act that, put corporate restrictions in place. But this is just going to explain it.
The collapse of Silicon Valley Bank.
It's short.
The second biggest bank collapse in U.S. history.
The Silicon Valley Bank collapsed on March 10 after a run on deposits doomed the tech-focused lenders' plans to raise fresh capital. This prompted U.S. regulators to step in with emergency measures, including seizing another bank 3 days later, in a bid to ease fears that depositors might pull their money from other lenders. WSJ Banking...
can we nationalize this? It's an unstable system. We're having recessions once every decade. It's awful.
Explains how this crisis unfolded and what could happen next.
Yeah, it is short, so just,
Silicon Valley Bank.
Here's the problem with these banks.
Yep.
These banks been getting free money for the last 10 years. Zero interest, right? That means if you went to the Fed and got $1 billion.
Yeah.
If you went to the Fed, you go and take out, you take $1 billion, free charge. They should give it to you. You don't even have to invest it. Just throw in a fucking bank account and earn interest and make money off it. So they've been feeding them for 10 years, free money. They were getting free money, interest free. Until the federal government raised the interest, all of a sudden everybody's going broke. Where's the money for the last 10 years? What have you been doing with the money? If you've been getting free money for the last 10 years, interest free money, where's the money? Where's the profits? What, you understand? We can, I understand that the government had to come in there and calm things down because, since we are in power, we don't want to mess up our democratic president. But I still think, we run too fast to rescue these people. God forbid somebody, some pregnant lady in Akron, Ohio wants welfare. No, she gotta pick out we can't give her money.
Why are people in rural Montana or some shit wanting to spend so many taxpayer dollars all across at the furthest point in the world before you start coming back? Why do they want to spend so many billions upon billions of tax dollars there? Just killing people, killing everybody, wasting everybody's time.
Where's the money, though?
To the defense contractors, to the fucking corporations, okay? And same with this situation specifically.
Yeah,
the responsibility trickles down. It's the taxpayer's burden, but the bankers are getting off scot-free. No repercussions. Didn't only one guy get prosecuted for his complicity in the 2008 crisis? Yeah, something like that. It's fucked. We gotta.
It was a huge influx, and they did what banks do. They took some of the deposits and made loans, but they also invested a lot of them in securities, which are pretty safe. Some issues had been bubbling under the surface at Silicon Valley Bank since the Federal Reserve started raising rates. When rates rose, the bonds fell in value. It's not a big problem for you unless you have to go and sell the bonds. But deposits started leaving the bank faster than they anticipated. and they had to sell their bonds and take a very big loss. The bank made an announcement on Wednesday night that it needed to raise capital and was planning to do that the next day. The investors completely freaked out, sold off the stock, and then a bank run started where people tried to withdraw $42 billion in deposits just in that one day. And by Friday morning, it was seized by regulators. The regulators have responded in a way that they're hoping stems the panic. The Fed said, we're going to be offering this lending facility that's a backstop. We're going to be insuring all of the deposits effectively of this bank that failed.
And
the collapse matters because it could have broader economic effects. There was the risk that this panic would spread to other parts of the banking system. We saw some really significant news with some of the banks that investors were most concerned about last week. Most notable, Signature Bank, a New York-based bank, was also
the capitalist system as it exists. We got to do more
talking because when the viewer watches it, he want us to.
Yeah. I mean, look, the capitalist system. Now, to be fair to socialists, although it kind of isn't a contradictory position, the government does have some complicity, a little bit of complicity in causing the crisis, and also it's the government. It's a problem with the government for just giving these banks a free pass when the entirety of the time, when it comes to feeding the poor, housing the houseless, they always make arguments through the bootstraps. When they just want to care about their own bottom line.
The issue here that these banks have been taking, like I said, tax-free dollars for the last 10 years. Yeah. They had a law where they had to keep a certain liquidity of money on hand in case they depositor needed it. But in 2018, Trump and some Democrats, because 17 Democrats voted to deregulate.
Yeah, the Blue Dog Coalition.
Yeah, to derail that law. You understand?
Yeah.
And that's what happened. And these people are fucking idiots. They're investing in bonds that's going to be due in 10 years. You can't do that because we live in a minute, the day-to-day things. And I think the bank was being shorted, by Peter Thiel. You know what I spoke to you about Peter Thiel, the
scumbag.
Yeah, because that night before that happened, he tweeted, and I saw it. He said there's some trouble in the bank, SVB, whatever it is. Get your money out. Everybody ran to get their money out. That's what happened. They had a bank run. There was nothing wrong. People got nervous. There's another bank, Washington Mutual, in 2008. It used to be a nice bank. It just started. It has what happened is somebody started a rumor that was collapsing. There was no, this wasn't collapsing, and everybody ran, got their money, and then Chase bought it out. The problem is money. The way money works is you have to have some confidence in money. If you lose confidence in money, money has no value. You understand? Like if you lose confidence in the American dollar has no value at all. Because it really doesn't. If you're printing fucking $500 billion a year of money that you don't have. But the whole idea is about confidence, and banks work on confidence. The whole idea, banking is simple. You have depositors who deposit their money. They get a low interest. You take their money and you loan it to another person for higher interest. And you make money, and it goes in a cycle and it rotates. People come, take their money, other people deposit, people take it out, and you make money. That's how it works. But when you start gambling with people's money, then after you fuck up, you come running to the federal government to help you. That is a lot of bullshit. That's a lot of balls to have, my friend. You're gonna fuck up with the money and go broke and help us. All of a sudden, the libertarians, all these we need small government. All of a sudden, come on, Uncle Sal, help us. You understand?
Yeah. I mean, the whole free market people are nowhere to be found. And the conservatives that are constantly championing free markets. We need to bail them out, ease them out, ease up the economy. Let's just do away with all this and just nationalize it and make it serve the people. Okay.
Imagine if the world came together and said, "Listen, forget about this hocus pocus bullshit. We're gonna make one currency. We're going to agree on the value of that currency and just let everybody live their life. You won't have no refugees. You won't have no human trafficking. People will live better life. It's simple. All we have to do is sit down and we say, we agree. And
but they're evil and they don't want that.
Yeah, all this economic bullshit, inflation, all that shit, all this hocus pocus is nothing but to fuck around with the people. You know who has the American dollar? Honduras. Honduras use the American dollar, I mean, I think the United States can do it. They could sit down and agree. Listen, let's agree here. The whole world, United Nations, we're going to use one currency. Call it a dollar, the lira, whatever you want to call it. It has one value. And then we're going to start all fresh and people go to work, and we can have to distribute this money according to the growth. I mean, you understand? We're not going to give the money free away, but it's going to have one value. People will not have to leave their country to come to the United States, and all this animosity of natives, or people who live in these countries against immigrants will not happen. Nobody wants to leave their country to come to the United States and live in a fucking basement in Jackson Avenue in Queens, New York. They died when we had that rain last year. A lot of them died because the rain overcame them. Nobody leaves. They have beautiful homes. They have beautiful scenery. From my country, my family has land beyond what you could see, but it's all mountainous. But that's it. We give that up because because of economic issues. We don't just want to live, with fucking rubber shoes and eat off the land. You know what I'm saying? And not enjoy all this luxury that we're enjoying right now and have this freedom. That's all it is at the end of the day. Agree, set the dollar worldwide, everybody's happy, boom, all the wars, all that shit will go to I don't know, but humans want to make things complicated, I guess.
Yeah, they're evil.
Yeah.
Also, this is still an aside from what Omar said, but is also relevant to the theme of banks. Leftists and progressive liberals often criticize landlords for being, really rent-seeking, really exploitative, really unethical business practices, but not as much criticism gets levied at banks. And obviously, this isn't an anti-Semitic argument. I don't care about race, religion, or ethnicity. I just care about the fact that people are capitalists. And what banks essentially do is just look at people who have good credit, and credit just means confidence that they'll return interest on the loan. They just look at people who have good credit and then give them loans and then pocket the interest. And then that's it. And pocket the interest for themselves, and then give back the principal of the loan, and then pocket the interest from that, and it goes on and on and on and on. But I don't know what it is. Can't banking just serve the people? Okay. Come on. Don't give me any shit about individual enterprise, commercial enterprise, spirit of the entrepreneur. No. Just make it serve people and not profits, okay? Thank you.
Yeah. Third largest bank failure in U.S. history, and First Republic put out a statement saying they'd gotten some extra money from the Federal Reserve and also from J.P. Morgan. They're hoping that reassures their investors and their depositors. The key thing to watch for is the panic over? That's the big question. Do people stop pulling their money out? Do investors and customers trust? Are they reassured?
Yeah. You have panic, you have no money. If we got together and said the dollar's not worth it, the dollar's not worth no money. If we say, no, I don't want the dollar, I want a ruble, that's it, it dies out. The only reason our American dollar is strong is because we have bigger guns than the world. We have the fucking Navy, we got the Army, we told you the dollar's worth that. We don't have, it's not based on gold. What are you basing our dollar on? On bullshit?
We got guns. We got guns. That's really where our power and economic prowess comes from.
And we owe $33 trillion. But if you want to collect, fuck you. We're gonna pay you in our own way. Dope pipe shit. Our dollar's worth more than you. This is how it works, man. It is like schoolyard politics. Oh, the school lunch where you have the nerds in the middle, you have the jocks at the end with the girls getting the shads. What they call them, the insult, the shads and the fucking.
I was actually considering covering some incel forum content. I don't know because it's right wing. It's complicit with the right wing. So we should, do a short segment on it sometime.
That's how the fuck you find out, because they're deprived of pussy. They're gonna be right wingers because they're closeted. They have issues. It's not hard to get fucking pussy. You don't have to get a Stacey. You can get a Laura. You could get a Jackie. I mean,
I don't know who all these people are.
I grew up in Brooklyn, New York. Most of my girlfriends were black or Hispanic. I probably had one white girl maybe in my whole life or two. But because that's where I was living in my ecosystem. I had no issue. I had a black girl from the Caribbean. Beautiful. She looked like a fucking golden, what do you call that? The shrimp, the golden color of the shrimp. And she's so beautiful. I had to get the best looking. That's when I got older. I got the girl. When I was young, I was a bullied kid. free. I used to hang out in the lunchroom, you know, all the fucking the dummies, the Aspergers, the beat up kids, the retarded, the guys with the thickest glasses. We had our own space in our lunchroom, trying to avoid nobody notices us from the jocks, you know, so they have a good time, you know, come, you know, fuck around with us this to feel better in front of everybody, you understand? I used to go to the lunchroom. If I'm on the line, they used to push me back to the back. Excuse me. They push me to the back because I can't protect myself. I was a fucking, you know, I was a big kid, but I was foreign and I didn't believe in fighting. I didn't have that bravery to fight, you understand, when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And I was fucking, I had a bad life in school, man. Especially with the Italian kids, man. Italian kids are fucking evil, man. Italian, man, you know, man, they bully you for nothing. Fucking guys calling you dirty, calling you whatever. You're not white. My skin is lighter than his. The fucking guy's olive, man. Fucking Mediterranean looking, fucking Cyprus looking.
Yeah. Like fucking Libyan, you know, North African.
You know what my curse was? I used to say, "You blue eyes, teddy bear." I used to think that was a curse. Imagine how that's why he used to look at me. A guy named Joey. He used to go, "What the fuck is he talking about?" I swear to God, I used to curse those words. I don't know how to, you know, I didn't speak English, so I thought those words were a curse. I used to go, "Teddy bear, blue eyes." That's it. And I'll say that. I'll let him have it. I let him have it. That's why he didn't do nothing. He got scared. You understand?
Teddy bear, blue eyes. Yeah.
They come and oh, you don't shower. How you know I didn't shower? What is that your business? I mean, you don't know me. That's that.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to give you a stop. We're gonna start crying, both of us. I don't know how you, but I mean, I had a hard. Then junior high school up, I found my tribe. You know what my tribe was?
What?
The blacks and the Hispanics. I found out who I am because I was an Arab in an ecosystem of American racism. You had the whites, the black, and I didn't know. I didn't belong to nobody. I didn't know who I belonged to. Am I white? Am I black? I'm not black, and I'm not white, and I'm not Hispanic. So I had a hard time to find the tribe that I belong to. After I found that, I said, "This is my tribe." They accepted me. They protected me. You know, from junior high school, I had a friend named Steve. He was half Jewish and half black. He was a big guy. He used to give him candy. My father owned a candy store. He used to bring candy, feed the kids there, and protection all around. Nobody fucked around with me after 10th grade or 9th grade. I think it was junior high school, like 8th grade. After that, I'm good. I got beat up from 3rd to 6th grade because I was in Italian neighborhood. I don't know why they took me there on a bus. It's far away. Anyway, man, let's not. But this is how bullying was. This is how kids were, man. I mean, sometimes you get bullied without know what we didn't know what bullying was. I didn't know what to complain to. I didn't know what it was. All I know is that it was the worst moment. Every time I go to school, I know I don't want to go to school because this guy named Joey, I still remember his name. I hope he's dead. He will fuck with me all, you know, because we used to move around. We used to stay in one class, and the teacher used to come. You understand? So you don't move from room to room.
Yeah.
So you see the son of a bitch all day. You understand? And I have to deal with him in the stairs. He'll push me. Excuse me. I'm like, what the fuck, man? Gotta show up, man. Today I hate the school. I didn't do my homework. Had a bad life, man. These fucking. I was an incel probably, but I didn't know what an incel was. The whole idea is that I was too young to have any sexual relation. You know, I went out with girls in the lunchroom. You know what? Let's go. You want to cover some stuff because I got a lot of funny story, crazy shit, man.
If you want to tell his story, go ahead.
No, I mean, you want to just dehumanize us. You can put on your channel, make us look human a little bit. When I was in junior high school, I used to love the school food, you know, the hamburger and stuff. You got to understand, I had no mother, so I was with my father. So there was food was not abundant in my house because my father doesn't cook. You understand? So we eat one time. So I didn't have the food I wanted, like cheeseburgers, hamburger, pizza, that stuff like people have. So there's a girl named Annette. She looks, you know, she was like she was a tomboy. What you call today a lesbian, but that time we didn't know what lesbian was over there. You understand? So she was strong. Her name was Annette. She was an Italian girl. So you know, I started flirting with her just to get free food because she used to volunteer doing school. So
she liked women.
Yeah, she's take me to the back and sit me down, give me all the food I want to eat. Inside the cafeteria, you know, I became a fucking honcho in there. I didn't do nothing to her, you know. Then all of a sudden, somebody told her that I was flirting with another girl. She came to my house looking for me with a fucking steak knife. We didn't do nothing. It was not boyfriend or girlfriend. We haven't even kissed. She's like, and my father, I came. And the police were in front of my house and all that shit. And she was yelling, screaming. They had on cuffs. What the fuck is going on over here? And my father, he doesn't let me have a girlfriend. I took a good beating when I got home. And he said, this is what happened. She came with a knife and she did. The whole idea is crazy. When kids, they do crazy things. But the bullying was done by, sorry, I'm going to say it, by the Italian kids. They're fucking vicious, man. Vicious. And I mean, they treat you like shit, man. I mean, they're very opportunists. If they see you weak or anything like that, they get you. And it was so bad, man. I mean, you get no education. Then when I found my tribe was wild. The blacks, we were wild. The gangs, they were burning down buildings. Shit like that. They were fucking gang. And they said at one time I had to join a gang. They said, you know what they told me? There's a kid waiting for the bus and he had an umbrella. It was raining. They said, go take the kid's umbrella. So, we know that whatever the fuck it is, so you be part of the gang, whatever. I went to the kid. I'm not a bad guy. So I said, listen, give me the umbrella? He goes, no. I said, come on, give me the umbrella, man. I don't want to. I said, well, look bad. They want me to take your umbrella. He didn't know how to get the umbrella.
Yeah. Keep talking.
Yeah, what are you doing? You tired or what? Huh?
No, I gotta just piss real quick.
Go ahead.
I mean, you can keep.
Okay, I'll talk to okay, everybody, what we're talking about, me and Free today, is about bullies in school. I was bullied all my life in school by my Italian friends. My Italian friends bullied me, and it was bad. And it is what it is. We used to go to school every day, hated it, didn't want to go. I felt I was going to get pushed around in the stairway inside the classroom. I was going to look bad. The girls going to laugh at me. And I was a good-looking boy, but I was, I didn't speak the language, and I don't know how to act. But the whole idea is, I don't know why we got to the subject, why Free is, we were talking about the banks. Anyway, that's what bullying was when we were growing up, man. Things were very bad, and kids didn't know what bullying was at that time. And it was a terrible time to have. You understand? It is weird. Anyway, this is Omar. I don't know why before I could not get the, what do you call it? The sound. I want to show you something, guys. The sounds. Where are you? Scooby-Doo. What are you doing, Omar? I can't talk without you, Free. If you're not there, it just, I just can't talk. I don't know what to say now. I just come blind, man. Let's do the next segments before you kill me, man. Anyway, the banks, the one bank went out, another bank, all the fucking right-wingers, Ben Shapiro, woke. The bank is woke because they gave $73 million to Black Lives. Channel Fox News. They gave $73 million to Black Lives Matter. They never gave a fucking dollar. They had nothing to do with woke. They had one person in the fucking board, one black guy and one fucking gay guy. All of a sudden, they fucked up the bank. Come on, man. Let's be real. Let's be real. Yes.
All right.
Let's see what happened. Why? I did not. You could not hear my share when I share the. I was talking about the idiots all over. Oh, the bank is woke. The bank gave $73 million to Black Lives Matter. Fox News all day they had that shit going. $73 million was given to Black Lives Matter. $73 million. It turned out at the end of the day, man, there was no $73 million given to the Black Lives Matter. Only woke they had one black guy and one gay in the board, and maybe a couple of women. It was mostly street white men who had the money. And as a matter of fact, they cashed in their stock a month before the plane crashed. They gave themselves bonuses. What a good guy they are, you understand?
Yeah.
Weird, man. Weird shit, man. Yeah, what's the next segment, man? I know I went off topic 1 minute. I don't know what happened to the sound. I got to figure it out later.
I want to do some fun stuff. Because, look, the next thing I have queued is a governor signing a bill that guaranteed free lunches to kids, and I think Minnesota, and Ben Shapiro.
Fucking piece of shit. I did a segment on it. Go ahead.
Yeah, if you've already done a segment on him, I'll just
talk about it. But what I'm saying is, he's fucking weird. You saw the video he did? It's not hard to feed 3 kids. Really?
Yeah.
Yo, Free. I used to get up every morning at 6:30 so I could catch the breakfast, free breakfast. Like I told you, I didn't have no mother, man. I lived with my father.
Yeah.
So my father, you go to work. I don't have no food in the house, and I'll run to school, get me that free breakfast in the morning, and get an extra bucket. Here,
lunches aren't free. Okay, so what they would give you, and this is exclusively in my state, exclusively in my county, exclusively at a select few schools. So obviously it's not going to be the same nationwide. But what would happen is that I would have to, because lunches cost money because it's a red state. It costs like maybe $2, $3 each day. I would have to write them a check every month or so, give or take, probably 3 days after a month, 3 days before the month's ended, whatever.
How much? About
like $50 for the entire month. I would hand them that check, and then they would take it, because obviously public schools are so fucking underfunded, they need money. So what would happen is if you didn't have enough money for one of the actual like lunches, and trust me, the lunches weren't good per se. But not even the healthiest, but it's food. It'll just sustain you for the day.
I love those hamburgers in the silver thing. Okay.
I did like those. I mean, obviously it's not, gourmet, what you would find at a fucking steakhouse, but I'm not asking for that.
You guys pay about $50, $80 in red states, right?
For the month. I mean, it's not completely unfair, but for the month.
Oh, everybody?
Yeah, everybody has to pay, unless they're on food stamps, but not a lot of people are on food stamps, even though we should expand its coverage. Anyway, so what would happen is I would obviously write a check for them, but sometimes it ran out. And when it did run out, they would give you just a quote-unquote sandwich. It was just, it's not really a sandwich. It was just two pieces, a piece of cheese stuffed in between two pieces of bread, and that was it.
I'm going to tell you, that's why I love those.
Come the fuck on. That's not a lunch. It's pure carbs, not protein, okay? Come on.
In New York, what they do is they give you a paper to fill in the beginning of school, your household income. You can put any income you want. They don't really check. So you used to put the lowest shit you can do. Everybody gets free lunch. I think some of the kids will pay 30 cents, 20 cents, whatever it is. And there was so much food, man. I used to take home because I used to befriend the ladies at the lunchroom. They know I was poor. I want to say I was poor when I was a kid. And I depended on that food. Eat lunch and breakfast. And summer school, I used to go and you have free, even if you're not going to school. In New York City, even the parents in New York City, summer school, you could bring your mother, your sister, you could bring, we go to summer school and you have whole families getting free breakfast and free lunch. And I used to take home a lot of milk, a lot of hamburgers, a lot of stuff, What happened? Where you going, man? And this, I'm not bored with my conversation. Anyway, New York City is a very generous city, man. You used to get free lunch, so much abundant that you could take home because it's so all around the place. Never had to pay $1 for no food. And Ben Cherry could go fuck himself. For lunch is not important. If you gotta feed your kids before you feed yourself. Okay, suppose the kids don't have no food to eat. Suppose you have no food to eat and give your kids, man. Well, it's not hard to raise kids. I got a lot of kids. Really? It's not hard to raise kids, man? Because your company makes $100 million a year? Well, some people are making probably like what? $25,000, $35,000 a year? School lunch should be free for everybody. It doesn't matter. It doesn't cost a lot because you already have all that food around that goes to waste. You might as well feed the kids, man. Sometimes the lunch they get or the breakfast is the best thing they get all day in some neighborhoods.
Sorry, they were fucking, buttoning the room. It's buzzing in my ear. Water. Okay. Trying to work here.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Go ahead, man. What I'm saying is that for me, lunch is very important because I think some kids, that's the best thing they get all day. A good breakfast and a good lunch at school. They probably don't get the same thing at home. Period. And bitch, your party is a fucking piece of shit. Go ahead, man.
Okay, so that wouldn't fly in a Florida school. Okay, so even though as time progresses, people get more, progressive, more left-wing, they contemplate their old views and, they generally discard them. But just asking lunch ladies for free food would not fly in a Florida school because what would happen is, like, I guess say, well, okay, a lot of people are, poor or lower middle class, and it's just the system we have to abide by.
But the food is there.
The only way you really get free food is obviously nothing's free because taxpayers are footing this. Food stamps, and you have to be like emaciated already to be able to qualify for food stamps. Like you're really, really at the bottom of the economic tier for food stamps if you qualify for that in Florida. WIC?
It's called the Women Infant something. They give you free cereal if the kids is under 5 years old. They have a WIC program here. They give so much food. Any child, first, if the mother's pregnant, they give her free food like cheese, beans, and stuff like that every month until she has the baby. Once the baby is born, they give the baby free infant milk. The baby.
You don't get free food unless you're super, super poor here.
Trust me, you go there, you have all these women in there. And all the kids, if you have 3-4 kids, they give you so much cereal. I'm telling you, because I had kids, man. And this is not considered warfare. This is considered a program because they did a study that if a baby is nourished and eats good from the time of conception, the stomach, until the age of 5, that's the best time to feed the kid and make sure that he eats healthy. Because in the long run, they save money. Because in order to have if you have a healthy child at 10 years old, the government doesn't lose money with hospitals. The kids got all these issues, a weak immune system, and stuff like that. So they figure, and they give this free food. It's called WIC, a WIC program, WIC. You can look it up in New York City. It's all over the United States, I think.
Yeah.
But it's sponsored by the state. I used to go take my kids when they were under 5. I used to have so much cereal. I don't know what to do with it. Cheese, pounds and pounds of cheese, tuna fish. And now they even give them banana. Now it's a card. Before they used to give me checks. You understand? And the whole idea is, that's good when the government does that.
Actually, one thing. Breakfast here was free, but apparently not lunch. Like, if I'm thinking, okay, taxpayers can apparently foot free breakfast every day of the week in public school, but apparently not free lunch. Okay, come on. I think my tax rates are going to help if they're raised. And that, pays for, free lunch and breakfast.
How about summer school in Florida? They have the programs where everybody eats free.
Summer school?
Summer school is for people like they have to do. They redo if they fail the class.
I've never been to summer school.
Okay, because, the whole idea, even if you don't fail the class, it's like a community program. You just walk in with your mother, or father, or aunt, or uncle, or grandmother. You walk in the morning, you get free breakfast. Families, you have a whole family, a generation sitting at a table.
Jesus Christ.
In New York City, and lunch. The school, the summer is all free. People eat because they go in, they eat. The whole idea is that, listen, that's the only thing we really get back. It's not buying a fucking missile for fucking $100 million and testing it. And so let the people eat, man. Let them fucking. I want to feed everybody, man. Because when I was poor, free, I really appreciate that free lunch they used to give us and that free breakfast because I wanted it and I needed it, and I think I didn't know how important it was until I got old and I saw how important it is for kids to have access to food during the day.
And breakfast here, even though it was free, it was like, not that much food. You'd get like maybe 4 sticks of like really small sticks of French toast, or like a single sausage in between 2 biscuits, and like, okay, that's barely enough to hold me up. But look, Omar, nobody ever says they became homeless because their tax rates were raised. Okay, my income tax. No, it's because their mortgages were hitting them hard, their car payments were hitting them hard. They couldn't afford rent. They couldn't afford basic utilities, and they lose their job. They ended up getting evicted. But a social safety net saves them for that. A social safety net saves them from that. Nobody ever complains about the fact that they went homeless because of tax. That doesn't happen.
I had a storefront, one of my businesses in Long Island, New York.
Oh,
the what do you call it? The property tax, which is for the school. It was $30,000 a year. Almost $2,500 a month. It's almost more than the rent itself, and we paid it because I was making money off the location. But it was so high. That's beside the other, like federal taxes, workers' compensation, sales tax, whatever, Medicaid, Social Security taxes. But what I'm telling you is, you have to pay it. It was high. that was high because it was property tax. It shouldn't be that high for fucking 1,300 square feet building. But I had to pay it, you know what I'm saying? I was paying almost $7,000. Why are you laughing?
Okay, it's a part of a segment I wanted to do. But you know, if we're doing the stories right now, you can.
No, go ahead.
All right. So, and yes, to our audience, this is political because obviously the right is aligning itself against feminist movements, and they've just have a lot of like yikesy takes about dating and consent. You see this in people like Fresh and Fit. And the Whatever podcast and the Red Pill types and Andrew Tate. This is one of those old school guys whose views are really reflected in a lot of the Red Pill stuff. Originally, I saw Leafy cover him. Leafy is here. I don't know if you know who he is, but he was like...
I know who he is. I'm going to look him up here.
Yeah, Leafy is here. It's all one word. But it sounds like
Leafy is here. I thought you said
he was a big thing in 2016, and he eventually got booted off the platform for like weird reasons. But although he wasn't a political YouTuber, he just wants to like make fun of funny videos. He was a commentary type. Although he like used some anti-SJW rhetoric that was kind of regressive. He also dunked on people like this. So I have to give him credit where credit was due. Now, I also saw the Drunken Peasants cover this guy, and since then he's become like a legacy lolcow. Obviously, I think his views have changed on the matters of like dating and social dynamics between men and women. But what were you going to say?
What was his politics before in 2016? I think I know.
Leafy's politics or this guy's?
Yeah. Let me see. I mean him. Let's see.
Oh, okay. So the headspace you're going to need to be in is, a left-wing versus right-wing view of dating and social dynamics between men and women and gender. And if you go in with that frame of mind, you're going to understand like what he's covering. So just to put it in context for you.
All right.
That's what I was laughing at. Like I was trying to cover it up. When you were telling your story, I was trying to cover it up, but I was looking at this freeze frame.
How genuine he is. Okay, put it full screen.
Joseph 8276 here.
Buddy, he's already taken up enough of the screen, okay? That's a low blow.
You want a rant from the beast?
Fuck yeah, I want a rant from the beast. Screw you, Brock Lesnar. This is the real beast.
You're gonna get a rant from the beast.
Hell yeah!
This is the beast. Joseph 8276. Yeah, damn right.
Oh,
boy.
hell yeah!
The beast
The
is
beast.
coming back.
Yeah!
You damn right. Today,
we gotta speed this up a little bit. Just a tad.
Is on girls.
My
friend
here
Scott
we go
Williams,
with this
Scotty,
OG red pill content. Here we go.
as I call him, he made a status on Facebook here, and
his friend Scotty. Right, yeah.
I just want to read it off, bit by bit, and I'll give you the best part. You girls want to find a good guy. First thing you should do, stop being so goddamn picky.
Obviously, this is an aside, and I'm not gonna like hammer this criticism over and over again. But you guys need women. Stop so picky. I am doing this robotic voice. Yeah, I find that a little peculiar. This whole robot voice, but it's very petty of me.
I agree with that. I really do. Now, girls. This status is absolutely correct. You have to stop being so picky. Stop being picky. Looks are gonna win.
Like, look.
Sounds like that bagel guy. Remember the bagel guy? They had that short guy. Remember? Yeah.
Who?
The bagel guy. Yeah. Look it up later when you get that. The guy, he sounds like.
All right. Yeah. So he's essentially saying, like, girls, looks are gonna fade away. lower your standards when at the same time he's not willing to lower his standards. He's just willing to stay where he's at. Like, Omar, dating's not like impossible. It's not extremely easy either. But you know,
you have to look nice. You have to have some clothes.
Yeah, you gotta be a decent person. Okay, you gotta be a decent person, communicative, and
personality-wise.
You can't be an absolutely entitled prick like this guy. He's gonna give further context, but you know, we'll let him explain.
Looks are gonna fade away after a while, girls.
Whereas men are just gonna age gracefully, like fine wine. Like, okay, you know, on aggregate, people find older people less attractive, but by the time you're old, aren't you, one, not only in a committed relationship, but two, just actively, if you aren't in a relationship by the time you're old, aren't you actively seeking out people who are your own age? I mean, like, everybody just ages, you know, unless there's like something supernatural going on, or like some sort of really advanced technology, everybody ages.
To realize that. And then he says, and lower your fucking standards. You might
like, lower your standards. Pick somebody less attractive. If you were like a 9 or a 10, pick somebody who was less attractive. Come on, man. Your whole shtick is just so transparent.
Find somebody. Sure, they might not be the best looking ones, but hey, looks fade away after a while. Yes, I agree with that. I absolutely agree with that. Because
no, you're a literal vampire. You just stay the same in terms of your looks all throughout your life. Like, you misunderstand something.
You got to lower your standards, girls. Stop being so picky. Stop going out with trash guys.
Wait. Okay. I haven't watched. Yeah. He's a fat incel. I haven't pre-watched this, but I think what's gonna happen. Make your bets, people. What's gonna happen is he's gonna just say this one line of dialogue, say this one point over and over again. Lower your standards. Stop being so picky, okay? His looks are gonna fade away. So he's gonna say that over and over again, and it's gonna be monotonous and boring. And by the time, if he just goes on like this for the rest of the 4 minutes, we'll just move on to something else. But I think he's just gonna do the same thing.
You may not. If you want a good guy.
You should make a point for himself. Like, I mean, you're gonna get old, you're gonna get ugly. You know, give me a chance. You understand? That's what he's saying.
But like, assuming most people are dating within their age ranges, like, okay, if I don't know, go through some sort of divorce when I'm in my mid 40s, aren't I gonna be dating people in their mid 40s? Not only because I have more in common with them. But because, you know, I just want to go down the same path of life, which kind of ties into the first point. But people who are a certain age are going after people who are their age in the dating, I guess, sphere. Right? So, you know, the fact that looks fade away after a while shouldn't be of that much relevance.
No.
Okay? Because you're not trying to date. Typically, people aren't trying to date people who are like 40 years younger than them, or you know, 50 years older than them. Yeah, like that's some gold digger type shit. Typically,
find the ones that
he's getting married. Fucking, he's 92 years old. That piece of shit.
Sorry.
Aren't so attractive. Give them a
give the guys that aren't so attractive a chance. Okay,
that's what he's making the case for himself, the poor guy.
No, I obviously, but I believe if you're a woman, if I were to put myself into a woman's shoes, I would choose a guy who's not only attractive but has a very good personality and who is also my age. Because okay, we can age gracefully, find each other attractive, and you know, obviously go on the same life path.
Together.
Yeah.
You saw the president of France. I saw his wife. She's 64 years old. He's like 45. She's like really old. She looks old, and it's, you know, I don't want to be an ageist or anything, but they don't look right. Remember when Donald Trump visited? Donald Trump's wife should have been with Macron, and Macron's wife should have been with Donald Trump because it was so fucking weird.
Like, what do you have in common with these people who are 20 years younger than you? It's so weird.
She was a school teacher. She was a school teacher. He fell in love with her. I don't think they're having sex now. She looks like 66, and I'm sorry, man.
Lower your standards.
Lower your
You got to lower your standards, girls.
Yeah, you need to lower your. You need to up your standards, you fat fuck.
Yeah, but
you fat elephant.
I'm pretty sure later he'll make the point that attractive girls aren't dating him, but like he doesn't want to go after unattractive girls, but he's not willing to lower his own standards. So it's just hypocritical to the core with these red pill types.
He's already low.
It's contradictory.
Yeah.
The best looking. I may be a little ugly. Who cares?
No,
dude, you would turn Medusa to stone.
Yeah, you're ugly. It's not a bit. There's no
in that case. But you have to realize that looks really aren't everything.
But, yes, okay, aren't you'd be hard pressed to find people who base their entire philosophy in dating and their worldviews and their like relationship worldviews around looks exclusively, because
everything has to do with looks, because that's the first thing you need. That's what attracts you.
Not for me, Omar, because
let's say you became friends and you struggle together and it develops into a relationship. Okay, but you gotta up your game a little bit. He's not upping his game. This guy, he's just fucking eating it, and he wants to go. Oh, you're gonna get old, then you're gonna go to waste one day, and the worm's gonna eat you. So you might as well go out with me now and do humanity a favor. No, excuse me, fat. You got fat. That's so you gotta fucking you gotta lose weight.
I mean, he's insulting like attributes of women's bodies. So I think if you initially provoke someone, it's fair game, Omar. That's just my take on it. But all right, here.
It's the personality you have to go after, ladies.
Nobody is going after exclusively looks or exclusively personality. Like, okay, Omar, even in my like teens and even now, I'm pushing 20. I'm gonna turn 20 in a few months. I never, ever just went after a girl because I thought she was attractive. I went after people who, obviously were pretty, but were also, but but not only that, who was just fun to be around. But oh, I mean, dude,
if she looked like that, and
even if I exclusively liked men, oh my God, this man just, Jesus Christ.
Have you ever fell in love yet? 3? I fell in love when I was 16.
In love?
I never fell in love again. Anybody who tells you that, he's a fucking lie. You only fall in love once. That's it. That's it. And if you're lucky, you get the right girl and you fall in love together. But it doesn't work. Sometimes you fall in love and the girl already fell in love already. Then you get hurt. Then you just become a fucking burner. That's what I did.
I've had affection for people. I've never been in love with a woman.
I used to love, man. I used to feel that love in my stomach, like fucking. I mean, love, man. You don't eat. That's when you love that person. And then you can't eat. Every song, this is a while back.
Yeah, and we definitely know this guy.
Every song you hear, you think is about you and her. I mean, you're fucking in love, man. And I felt, and I was so hurt, man. I don't want to cry. She hurt me so bad, Free, man, because she wasn't in love with me, man. I mean, that's it. I couldn't eat for 6 months. That's it. Like I was depressed and all that stuff. Now, after that, I became a fucking, what do you call it? A heartbreaker like her. She broke my heart. I broke all the girls' heart. I never went out with a girl. I knew I was in love with them. I like them. I care about them. But there was no love. Even though I'm married and shit, it's not the same love I had for that first girl. I mean, I don't know how to explain love. Love is not in the heart. Love is in your fucking stomach. You got that hunger and those worms under your stomach. It moves. And you always feel like you're languishing and you're lost. I don't know, man. Have you fell in love yet? Or you still not yet?
I don't know if there's something wrong with me. Probably not. I guess I'm just young. Yeah, but I've never felt that.
I was 16 when I fell in love, man. I'm telling you, man. Unbelievable, man. Everything, everywhere I see is her in front of me. Everything. Every song I hear on the radio, it's her about me and her. Every movie I watch, I think
and
about
trolls
us.
Do not say contradict myself, because you...
No, I'm pretty sure you are about to contradict yourself.
You think that...
What's his name? This guy name is Leafy. What's his name?
Leafy is here.
Leafy, you're not here. No, he's not here. Leafy, you're not here. You gotta up your game a bit. Forget about the girl.
No, this guy. No. Okay, so I originally discovered this guy when a YouTuber.
Okay.
No. Yeah, this guy's username is the Beast or Joseph8276. It's in the upper top left. But I found this guy out originally. I originally saw this video when a commentary YouTuber named Leafy is Here covered it. So Leafy is Here and this guy are two different people. But you know, they've made like content on it. So just, you know.
You're dumb. I'm just not a big fan of big women.
No, yeah, okay. So here's the contradiction.
What is it?
He doesn't like big women, but here's the contradiction. He wants attractive women to lower their standards, but he, as an unattractive man, does not want to lower his standards for unattractive women. So like, he wants attractive women to bat in his league, but he doesn't want to like even attempt to bat in any league higher.
He's selfish. He's selfish.
Yeah. He's entitled too, as a lot of these red pill insults.
I don't hate them.
Wait,
I don't.
He's right wing. What the fuck?
I will say hi to them.
No,
I'm telling you, this guy is mad. I think the government should have a program where they give vouchers to the guy to go get pussy in the, those illegal brothels in like in Las Vegas. Once they become legal in the United States, have a voucher. If you're 17 or you're 18 and up, you get like 5-10 vouchers until you reach the age of 20, just to get that fucking energy out of you. You understand? So you don't kill people. Go ahead, man. It's weird. I'm thinking
and
crazy shit.
Whatever, I'll talk to them, but I'm just not a big fan of going out with them. So don't think I'm hating. And anyway, but really, girls, you gotta look for the ones that they don't look.
Girls, please date me, the not so attractive ones. But okay, but you want extremely hot women to date you, but you aren't willing to date extremely not hot women as an extremely not hot man. Christ.
That attractive, but they have a personality that you might trust.
Okay, but if an unattractive woman had an extremely great personality, you still wouldn't be willing to date her. And obviously, with me, or just people in general, it's not exclusively about personality. It's not exclusively about looks, okay? It's somewhere in between, people.
Yeah, it is.
As long as you're happy with the person, when
you say something's wrong with me, okay? There's nothing wrong with you. It just had to happen. It happens without you really knowing it. So don't think it's weird. You understand? You're lucky you haven't fallen in love yet. That means you're still safe. You understand? You still fucking
like. Obviously, I have you
haven't been broken, man. They break you, these women, man. They will break you.
If I get intimate with somebody, obviously I have affection for them, but love.
Yeah, just make sure.
I feel that's a strong word.
Okay. The whole idea is the best love is, I think, in my mind, is if you guys haven't fell in love yet, both of you, the girl and the boy, and you meet each other, and like your first. I mean, I'm telling you, man. Even the boss, when she broke up with me, I remember the bus we used to take together, the movie theater we used to go. I mean, the stuff like that. We used to go every weekend to play game in the video, arcades. They don't have them. Yeah. Guys, now let this fast fuck.
Your standards, girls. Really, lower your standards.
See, he's gonna
stop
keep on
being so
repeating
picky
it.
with the guys. They, like I said before, they may not be the best looking guys, but they sure do have that personality.
No, you don't.
Okay, he's padding the length.
Yeah.
And then he says, and by the way, no one cares about your guy problem. Stop being so bitchy. Well, yes, I really agree with that. Girls, you got to stop being bitchy. You can't tell us good guys your
Wait, whoa. I think I'm misunderstanding that. What did he say? I'm going to turn on captions.
And by the way, no one cares about your guy problem. Stop being so bitchy.
Wait, so in a Facebook status, and I don't even have a single clue about how Facebook works, he's saying, two girls, nobody cares about your guy problems. So I guess what he's saying is that he's telling girls to not complain about guys, but he's also actively like airing his grievances out about women. Dude, it's so simple to find contradictory ideas in red pill ideology if you just like put yourself into the shoes of a red pillar. Put yourself in that mindset. It's really easy to find the contradictions, and they just manifest one after another.
Well, yes, I really agree with that. Girls, you got to stop being bitchy. You can't tell us good guys your guy problems, because technically we all know you go out with douchebags. Stop going out with them. Find a really good guy to be with. Okay? Stop being bitchy. That is not going to help you through your life. Maybe if you calm down.
Yeah, like stop being bitchy, but actively, dedicating an entire online career to just, shitting on women.
And find a good guy. Maybe things will get better for you. I'm a good guy. Try me out.
So, okay, this is essentially his dating profile. Yeah, is what it is. When do you want to get off stream?
No, I'm getting off now because I'm tired and I gotta go eat and stuff like that.
Now?
Yeah, I have an exercise. You can continue if you want.
All right, I'm just gonna end this video. Maybe I'll watch half of another video, but I'll end this video. You can go ahead, man.
All right, it was lovely to see you. I hope you do well, free, and I hope you do find the right woman. Oh, guy, woman, right? It's not a guy, right? And that you love.
I don't know. The Rock is really attractive, so if he offered to date me, I'd be down.
I'm gonna tell you one time. We have that moment. I went to a McDonald's, and I should drive a cab. You know the cab taxi, right?
Yeah.
And it was 12 o'clock at night. I picked up this kid. I mean, he's over 18. And he's so beautiful, unbelievable. And I'm not gay, I'm married. I took him down the block. I knew something was going to happen. I was going to do the wrong thing. I returned back to McDonald's. He's like, what's wrong? I said, nah, really, I got to go home. I was so fucking scared because the kid was so beautiful. I mean, he was so, he forgot his umbrella, and I went the next day and put back his umbrella. That was a fucking scary moment to have. When you're attracted to some fucking kid, this guy. I mean, he's not a kid. People might get the wrong idea. Let me correct it. He's young, and I was young.
What, college age?
I got 20. Yeah.
People call people in college kids, but obviously,
I just flew. I said, God, I don't know, man. This kid is attractive too much. It's 12 o'clock at night. I might do the wrong shit. I might regret. Let me take that motherfucker back to the McDonald's. I took him. I made a U-turn, took him right back. He said, "Well," I said, "No, I gotta go." I just got a text message, whatever it was that time, and I just got the fuck right out of here. Anyway, you can't like something like a Rock. I'll tell you something like that. Fucking ugly. You need something nice, young, and petite. What's it called? Petite. Young, you don't want fucking. You don't want no Hulk Hogan, whatever the fuck it is. Anyway, peace. They're gonna use that.
Yep. I'll see you.
My enemies, they're gonna use that segment against me. I don't care. I'm a man. I say whatever I want, whatever I feel.
He was clearly a guy over 18, right?
Huh? Yeah. I mean,
okay. Then
no, it's 12 o'clock. No, I'm not. Come on, I'm not even that kind of guy. He was so what's the word? Petite. I don't know. You like those girls.
Petite.
Yeah, beautiful guy. I mean, he's beautiful by nature. He smelled good. Everything. He's woman. This is before I knew what transgender is. He was like a woman the way he talked and the way he spoke. I mean, he was like a girl. He didn't have, but he was a boy.
This is New York, so he's probably
Huh?
If he's in New York, he's probably up on the gay scene, right?
Yeah, but I was in the Bronx. I mean, I was picking
okay.
I was in it. No, he's working there. That's where he works every day. He forgot the umbrella. It was raining. I feel sorry for the kid. I threw him right back in there. And I took the umbrella back. 12 o'clock at night, so I took him back. So listen, I got to go. Better get you another cab. And I took the umbrella to him. The next day, he was mad. He didn't even look me in the face. He didn't know that we did both of us a favor. You understand? Yeah. I said, like, thank God that shit is not happening. Everything, but you have that feeling sometimes. It's crazy. I don't know why we're talking about this stuff. We got to take that out. Take it out. Don't put it on online.
Because I think it was like dating, and I brought up The Rock or something. I don't fucking know.
Don't worry about it. Anyway, I don't care. I say whatever I want to say. I don't give a fuck about it. I ain't afraid of nobody. I'm real. I don't pretend. I'm not trying to be religious or try to be rightful or that. I just say what I feel, and we have the same view. We believe in human rights, that people should be treated equally and beautifully, and people should have access to everything that is good for their health and mind. Anyway, take care, Free.
Yeah, take care, man.
Take care. God bless. Bye bye.
Yep.
Yeah, this is Free.